hope that if you did day one of your homeschooling today, it went well. Ours started pretty good, following Joe Wicks's live PE stream early this morning. Then a few ups and downs. Printer didn't work. Slight headache when my son really couldn't work out his maths homework. But it all kind of came together. Finished the day in a nice long walk, and I managed to get a bit of work done. So just about made it through my first day. But I do also want to mention that a couple of people have given me some other really useful resources for homeschooling and activities that you can be doing with your children. So the link that I sent underneath yesterday's video, I've actually updated, and there's a few more resources in there. So a couple of things to note, actually, there's some great Facebook groups that are keeping me going as well. There's a lovely one called Family Lockdown Tips and Ideas. Noel Fielding is doing a 3 p.m. Twitter art competition. So there's lots of really nice art things that your kids can get involved in as well, that I'm trying to keep my children doing as we crack on. And quite a few people have got in contact and talked to me about well-being practices for their children. So doing family yoga, for example, or family meditation. So I thought that today I'd talk a little bit more about the well-being aspect of having our children with us for this long period of time, which can feel very stressful to have so much quality family time with your children, and perhaps some of the things that we can all do together to support that. Now, these videos won't just be about children. In fact, from tomorrow onwards, they'll really be about focusing on your own individual well-being and what we can do to support that. But there are lots of resources out there to help our children's well-being over this period of time. And if you want to include it as part of your structure for your day, as we talked about the importance of structure yesterday, you can always fit it into something that is called PSHE, Personal, Social and Health Education. So it's really my favourite subject because it's essentially what I talk about with grown-ups, never mind children. So as part of your structure in any day, it's really important to have an aspect that focuses on our own well-being. And while there's lots of resources out there that might be particularly useful for people, there's one that I love turning to help have conversations about how we can look after our children's well-being, but there's also some fantastic resources in there for our own. And this is a site called Action for Happiness. There are some great downloadable resources that you print out, have up on your wall, and spend some time on with your children. So there's a lovely coping calendar at the moment where there are 30 different actions that you and your family can think about keeping at the forefront of your mind over the next few months. What I should say is what we're talking about here is how to manage and have a certain amount of resilience with our own mental health over the next few weeks and months. So what we can expect is there are going to be days where we feel really up, we've got it sorted, everything's working beautifully, and there are days where we feel a bit down, we feel a bit depressed, and actually things aren't great for us. If, however, you do find that there is a lot more time in that down place, where it's not just a depressed day, it turns into a couple of days or 3 days or a few weeks, then it might mean that actually these conversations are not enough for you, and you'd really benefit from having a mental health professional spend a bit of time with you, and you might need some therapy resources. Underneath this video, there will also be some resources for people who feel that actually they need a little bit more than just some tips and tricks and ideas. But for those of us who are just trying to maintain our mental health and try and maintain our interest and our motivation, then some of the things that are on the resource page there are really useful. Just practical little exercises that we can play with to look after our own mental well-being. And if you want to, as I said before, structure that into your working day with your children, you can put it under your PSHE title and feel that you're still doing everything by the book. But over the next few weeks, what we will do is we'll look at different particular aspects of well-being and how we can implement them specifically to find actions that are useful for all of us to be able to do. Because one of the things that we want to keep doing over this period of time is spending some time looking after us. So tomorrow's conversation is really going to be about the idea of self-compassion. How can you look after you through this period so that you can be really useful for other people around you? Take care, stay calm, and if you can't stay calm, stay kind, but to yourself. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. Thanks, bye-bye.